Let's go to Quackle here. New game. And this was round 15 of... I don't actually remember how long the event was. Probably like 18 or 20 rounds. So I was playing Trevor Sealy, who is a around 1400 rated player from Toronto. I was rated like 2000 at the time. Um, and yeah, it starts off just like any any game versus lower rated player where you're just winning. I open with Quota, he plays Climb. I have this rack and I played Jack. Um, he plays Bumper. And I bingo. Wow, that was wrong. I bingo because I draw 3 vowels to my GNDS leave. He plays Fa, and he's just not making anything happen. I'm slowly but surely just scoring my way to victory. I think I should have played Know How here, but I played How. I feel like I remember this position and I didn't want to play Know How for some weird reason. Oh yeah, I didn't want to play Know How to keep, because that keeps words from the D possible. So I decided instead to play How and block all these triple bingos. A is actually not a word. The reason that A is not a word is some stupid pedantic shit. The reason A is not a word is because if A were a word, the play of Jack would be forming more than one word. It's so dumb. Like it's logical. It's like, okay, if A is a word, then any play with A in it is making a second word. And if it already makes a second word, it can't be legal because it's making a third word in another direction. Like, it's so dumb. Like, if I were to play like ADS here, that would be illegal if A were a word because I'd be making ads, quotas, and A. And you're not allowed to make plays along more than one angle. Yeah, it should. It's a word. It should be legal. So part of the reason I played it is because I don't like these stupid rules that try to like tell us what to do. Like if the rule makes sense, it's good. The A rule doesn't make sense at all. A should be a word. Anyways, I'm not going to make a good case for A not being a word because I don't agree with that case. So I play How. He plays Hit. And here's where things start to get very, very interesting. So, I think at this point, I had played Jack and I was like, okay, Jack has some extensions. There's like Flapjack. Like, there's a bunch of like jacketed, like, there's a bunch of Jack extensions, and I'm not going to go through all of them. And I just recently learned jackfruit. And I just recently learned that Jackie was a word. So let's say I had a Y here. I could play something with Jackie. So I was like sort of focusing a lot on the word Jack because I had just learned a 5-letter word few months prior that I didn't know. And there's also something interesting that happened that I think I've shown before. I believe I've shown it before. Where this position came up. And knife was on the board. And that's all I'll say about that. Now back to this game. I see the possibility of putting an F exactly here. And I'm like, oh my god, this could be so epic. And this is a good play. But I decided to block a bunch of jack extensions for a very specific reason. So I play furs. And Trevor takes a really long time. And he plays... I think he puts a bunch of stuff on the board with like... He puts like a Nestri, Stainer, retains Retinas. I think he like switches his play like 10 times. And finally settles on Retsina. Which is just really... It was really funny to see him like struggle. This is one of the highest scoring bingos though, so well played to him. But it's easy to be stuck being like, wait, like, can I play like Takreen? Like, there's a bunch of 80-point bingos, but it feels like there should be something better. But he plays Retsina. And I have this rack. And I'm just like already chuckling in my head, remembering this position, remembering that 14 Domino, Cesar del Solar, was playing a great game against my former clubmate Emmanuel Chiquan in the Las Vegas tournament in 2014. And in this position, plays Aesia, and then he plays Jackknife. Now I'm going to try to pronounce this properly. Jackknife. He pronounces it Jackknife. You can pronounce it the way you want, because it's not a word. You need a second K. So, in this position, Cesar lost his turn, said, what am I doing in the annotation? And he still won the game, 521 to 427. It was a crazy game with a ton of bingos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A bunch of bingos here to start the game off. But he ruined everything by playing Jackknife. And he tells this story. It's just so amazing to hear him talk about it. Because what ended up happening after this game is I had convinced Emmanuel to come to this tournament. After playing a 19-game series against him, I think I won like 11 to 8 or 10 to 9. And he considered me to be like an average player in the field at that time. I think I was rated like 1800 or something. Or less. I was rated like maybe 17 something. And he was like, okay, well, since you're like an average player and I did pretty well against you, I'm going to go to this tournament. He was a poker player. He thought about EV all the time. So he's like, okay, I'll come to this tournament. And then he played this game against Cesar. He lost 427 to 521. And he came up to me later, I think at lunch, and he was like, yeah, like I played Cesar and he played Jackknife with 1K. I was so shocked. Like I thought he was a good player. He came to me and said that. And so I told Cesar what he had said. And ever since then it's just been an epic Scrabble story. And yes, Jello Mochas finds the copy pasta. So, flash forward 5 years back to this position, and I prepared it. I put the F in the exact spot that I wanted it. And I'm in this position, and I'm just like, gotta fucking do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. So I put down Jacques Neef, and I hit the clock. I say 48. And I don't care. I don't care if it comes off the board. I just wanted to play this. And I'm committed. I play this. I say 48, hit my clock. Trevor's like, wow, nice. And I'm Gucci. And that means I can draw my tiles. He isn't holding, he isn't challenging. And this was probably the one time, just a couple tables down, Jackson was playing somebody, saw what had happened. He heard Trevor say nice. He looked over. He saw what was on the board. This is the one time Jackson Smiley pretty much could not help himself from just like starting to laugh in the middle of a Scrabble tournament. I broke Jackson. Because Jackson, of course, knew about the Cesar story. Anyways, I draw my tiles, and the game continues. Trevor plays blue, and I play ooze, of course. I draw into that, keeping this leave. And yeah, the game just keeps going on, but it's not over. Trevor plays rung. I play crap. I don't care that I'm opening up a triple because I've just made my own tournament by playing Jack Neef. Trevor plays clay. I play duvet. He plays me. Anyways, the game just keeps going. I play navy. And here Trevor plays OX. Good find making X'd. And I'm just trying to prevent him from bingoing. I play a do. Where did I play this? A do there. Okay. I've drawn the blank. And I missed a bingo. Great. But I play a do. Don't worry, I missed gadoids. I think I can. I thought that. No, I think I just flat out missed gadoids. Now Trevor plays let, And here I'm just like, right. Like, I can hook an S onto this if I want, but he can't. He plays let. I fish off my R. Here I was actually going for I was going for reminisced. I played rem here, even though I had bingos. I saw writings, I think. But I played rem because I wanted to get a 10-letter word of reminisced. Because the game is won. I'm up 142. So let's just play rem. Should I play jackknifed and id? I think he would have challenged that. But here, he lays down AS. And I start to think. And I was already considering what I would do when this would happen. Because I felt really bad. Like, it's one thing to get away with Jacques Neef. It's another thing to then, like, bait your opponent into hooking it and challenging it off. And that was one reason that I was hesitant to challenge. The other reason I was hesitant to challenge is because I thought that it was possible with the unseen letters that Trevor actually had a bingo with this rack. And that if I challenged, he would bingo next turn, which is bad for my points differential, of course. I would much rather he get away with Jacques Neef's and live to tell the tale than him bingoing at any point in the game. So he played this and I was like, oh, what should I do? I said hold, and I didn't immediately challenge. And I was like, oh, you know what? This is fine. Like, he's probably going to think that jackknife is a word, but that the plural is jackknives. So I didn't feel so bad challenging it off. I challenged off his play. And he was like, ah, damn. But I think he only thought that jackknife just pluralized to jackknives. I think I was safe. So, here I fish for reminisce again. I really want to hit this 10-letter word. And then Trevor plays in-gates. It's like, shit, like, what the hell? This is exactly, and I'm not lying to you guys. I'm not, like, protecting you guys by saying that I actually had this thought that if I challenged off jackknifes, he would bingo. And I was just so upset. I was like, why didn't I let him get away with it? But I couldn't, right? I could not let him get away with this. I had to challenge it, right? Am I right? I think I had to challenge it. And anyways, I drew into a bingo. I played iodines. Went out. Won 527 to 358. And the masterpiece was created. So, 5 years later, I finally brought it back. The amazing tale of Jacques has returned in a different form in my Shediac game from 2019. Sadly, Cesar was not attending this tournament. So I think at the end of the game, Jackson texted him or I texted him. It was like, I just got away with Jacques Neef in your face. Like just to make it worse. He's already lost his turn on Jacques Neef, and now to see that someone else actually played it on purpose to get away with it, then challenge the hook. I thought it was perfect. I thought it was the perfect way to troll our friend 14 Domino. So yeah, I hadn't annotated this game until today. I'm glad that I did, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. Goodbye, YouTube.